Well, here I am again, back among my sheep, and we're on day 17 of our Jesse Tree adventure together. And remember yesterday, we left off with the young boy David being anointed as king by Samuel. Well, David was the youngest of all his brothers, and they didn't think that there was anything that special about David. He stayed out with the sheep, did a great job of taking care of them, but God knew David's heart. And God knew that David had a heart for God, that he loved him and cared about him. Now, David was brave. He fought off lions and bears to protect his sheep. And we remember the story of David and Goliath, where he took a stone and a sling, went round and round and round, and killed the giant. God loves each and every one of us, and he wants us to be brave and have a heart just like David did. And God has a plan for each one of us, just like he did for David. Now, some of you might remember going out to Brad Thober's last spring, where we got to actually pet the baby lambs and see the sheep. Well, you get to make a sheep of your own today. Our ornament for today is the shepherd's crook, okay? And you can have your shepherd's crook as you're making your sheep. Them might taste pretty good. Grab your bag of cotton balls. You have a cardboard shape in there. You have cotton balls. You have some clothespins and some felt. What you'll want to do is you'll want to paint the head end of the cardboard. It doesn't need to be back too far, but paint this part black because that will be the head of your sheep. And then you'll want to paint your clothespins about from the spring down, because that will be the legs of your sheep. You don't need to paint it all the way to the top if you don't want. Let that dry, and then you'll go ahead and you'll put that on your cardboard form. You might want to glue it. Make sure that you kind of set it down so that it's going to be level as you adjust it, so you can adjust your legs before you glue them on. Then you'll just take your cotton balls, stretch them out just a little bit, lengthwise, okay, and then glue them on the top. Your little piece of felt, if you cut out 3 little teardrops, you can use them for the sheep's ears and his tail. Now, I use cotton batting on the back of my sheep so that in case you want to make some more sheep, you'll have your pattern, and then you can just use cotton batting if you want, or you may prefer that look anyway. Now, for the older kids, for some of you, I put in some yarn, and I think this is a pretty cool looking sheep too. You do the same thing with the cardboard and the clothespins and your felt, but your yarn you're going to wind around your sheep. Now, it's a little bit tricky. There are some websites that you can look at if you want, but you wind around the legs, but then sometimes, if I was you, I would use a tad of glue to hold it in the yarn in place. For example, when you're working around his bottom, all right, because the yarn will slide off, so just put a little bit of hot glue underneath of there, and the same thing maybe around his face. But there you